Today coming to you from Portugal, which is another country that I like to spend a little bit of time in. I normally come here for holidays. I've been coming here on holidays for about the last 10 years. I've never actually lived here for a long period of time, but like I said, normally try to come here maybe once or twice, sometimes even 3 times a year. It's a blustery day and I've got the sun behind me, so perhaps the conditions are not the best for recording this video, but I'll try and do my best. Now, what I want to do today is compare the two countries a little bit. Obviously, if you're thinking of coming to live in Spain, Portugal could also be an option that you might be considering. And I will tell you that Portugal is a fantastic country that offers a fantastic quality of life, especially if you are not relying on the economy for work, obviously, because Portugal also is a country that struggles from that particular point of view. But if you're looking to retire, perhaps you've got some type of online business that you can, that you're flexible and you can move around, Portugal is a very attractive country. Now, I'm not in the Algarve. A lot of people that come to Portugal go to the Algarve. I'm in a place called Peniche, which is about 90 kilometers north of Lisbon and about 200 kilometers south of Porto. And it's in an area called the Silver Coast, and it's a fantastic place to live for, or even just to be here for 2 or 3 different reasons. One of them is the weather, and another one is for the prices. It's a cheap place from an accommodation point of view. To buy property here is quite cheap, and also the general living costs are relatively low compared to a country like Spain. Okay, so as you can see, one of the reasons why Portugal is a fantastic country is because of the coast. The coast in Portugal, the weather, the lifestyle is very similar to where I come from. The coast, it's a west coast, it's dune type beaches with surf. It's got a surf vibe to it here as well. It's just a really good place. As I was saying before, property, you can get property here reasonably cheap. I saw some apartments the other day for about 70 or 80,000 euros, 3-bedroom apartments in a place like this, or even down the coast there on the way down to Lisbon. You can see that this area, there's a lot of fantastic beaches. I mean, the beach here down below is about probably a kilometer long, and it's just all white sand. It's a fantastic beach. So that's another thing that I love about here. The other thing is the weather. The weather in this part of Portugal is absolutely fantastic. Spain gets really hot this time of year, but here in this particular place, Peniche, it never gets above 24, 25 degrees in summer. And in winter it gets down to about, I think the coldest I've seen it here is about 12 degrees with a cold wind. See, there's a boat going past here. There's a real water atmosphere. A lot of things associated with water: surfing, windsurfing, kite surfing, boating, yachting. It's great for that. And that's, those are the main pros that I see about Portugal. The other thing here is that people speak English reasonably well. Most people have a good level. You can communicate fairly easily. If you decide to learn Portuguese, I speak Spanish, so for me Portuguese is difficult simply because of the pronunciation of the words and the different sounds and so forth. And people here, when you try to speak Portuguese, they jump into the other language really quickly, either Spanish or English. So it's difficult to learn because a lot of the times they don't let you practice, or either that's because we, or I personally, speak it so badly that they have to jump in and try to speak your languages. So that's probably a little bit of a negative aspect. Weather-wise, fantastic. On the coast, cheap property. It's cheap to eat out. Coffee's only 65 cents here for a small, like a short black or an espresso coffee. It's only about 65 cents. It's really cheap. Good quality of life, good quality of living, fantastic weather. What more can you ask for? As far as work goes here in Portugal, I don't think it's all that good. The economy's been quite bad for a few years now, and it's one of these countries in the European Union which is in the Troika area, which means that it's completely intervened by Europe, and Europe basically tells them what they can do and what they can't do. I don't know when that's going to change. The minimum salary in Portugal is also very low, and a lot of Portuguese people have immigrated in the last years to all over the world: France, Switzerland, Canada. In fact, you see heaps and heaps of cars here with foreign license plates, and they're all just Portuguese people that come back for holidays because, as I said, the economy there's just not enough jobs for them all. So you'd have to keep that in mind if you were considering coming to Portugal to work. Portugal's also a place that has a two-speed economy. Well, that's at least what I like to call it. And what I mean by that is there's people that make a lot of money and the rest of the population are sort of in the middle or struggling to make ends meet. You can see that, you know, when you drive. You see these enormous Audis and BMWs and Mercedes around the place, cruising down the highways at 180 kilometres an hour, and then in the lane next to them you've got cars that can barely go 80 kilometres an hour because they're so old, and people just, you know, haven't changed them for whatever reason. So, you know, the economy is always going to be the worry about coming to a place like this. But as I said before, if you've got an online business or you can set up an online business, Portugal is a place that offers an incredible quality of life. Food, fantastic. It's got fantastic seafood, produce, great. I've only got good things to say about Portugal.